I'm going to say something controversial. I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. What is going on, you guys? This is the Cubone here. As always, I am wearing teal and black like a Duval cat because I'm here to talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars. I am joined, of course, by my co-hosts, Trico and Selena. Gentlemen, how are we doing tonight? All right. Be patient. Let's go ahead and get things started with my honest opinions on the Jacksonville Jaguars as of right now. We're 0-4. It's awful. We're the worst team in the league. We're the only team in the league that doesn't have a single win thus far. Granted, only 4 weeks into the season. Sucks. But amidst the chaos, everyone is calling for Doug Peterson's head, as well as Trent Baalke. Yes, I am. I am not hiding that one bit. I am, in fact, one of those people. But after this game between the Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars last Sunday, which was a pretty competitive game for the most part and went down to the wire, Houston got the football last. CJ Stroud doing CJ Stroud things. He scored a touchdown at the very end that gave Houston the lead, eventually the win. And that was one of those games, in my opinion, that is a perfect example, Trico, of one of those games that is defined by a simple 3 plays. Simple 3 plays. The 2 passes that Trevor Lawrence overthrew, 2 wide open receivers that would have been touchdowns. Of course, no one's going to argue against that, Trico. But I also want to point out about those plays at the goal line at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth quarter, when they went for it on 4th and goal. Them not converting and getting points on the board in that situation is also what tipped the scale in favor of the Houston Texans. A simple, 3 plays in the game. Overthrowing Brian Thomas Jr., overthrowing Christian Kirk, and not converting on 4th and goal. Those plays determined the difference between the Jaguars winning and losing this last game. And, overall, the rest of the team did fine. The defense did a good job in the second half, holding the Texans to only 1 score. The offensive line, I felt like, did a lot better in this game compared to what happened in Buffalo. I thought Tank Bigsby looked great. I thought Travis Etienne, the few times he was in there, was great. Obviously, I can't talk enough about how great Brian Thomas Jr. has been. But everyone wants to talk about Trevor Lawrence right now. That's why I had to bust out the jersey, okay? I got to show my support for my guy, Trevor Lawrence. And I'll be honest, that game last Sunday was not his best. He hasn't looked good at all this season. Some of it is due to coaching. Some of it is due to poor old line play. Some of it is to do with the receivers dropping passes. That wasn't the case last Sunday. That was on Trevor, 100%. And, you locked him up for a huge contract, $55 million a year, $275 million total. That contract doesn't kick in until 2026. You're stuck with Trevor for a while. And honestly, it could be worse. it could be worse. I am at least happy and satisfied right now with Trevor Lawrence as my future quarterback. If he continues to play the way he is right now, obviously that's going to be an issue. But I've said it before in the past, and I've seen Trevor be great in the past. So this isn't me being hypocritical, but I've said this before in the past. As long as we have a healthy Trevor Lawrence, we do have a shot of winning every single game on Sunday. I 1000% agree with you, Trico. I still believe in Trevor Lawrence. I still think he can be that franchise-saving quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I just don't know if it's with Doug Peterson as his head coach. And from the sounds of it, sounds like Doug's going to probably be here at least until the end of the regular season. So that's going to be a while. We'll see how things go. But let's go ahead and do Salandit's segment of the show where he talks about the rest of the teams in the AFC South. Take it away, Salandit. Alrighty, now let's get into our final segment of the show, which is Questions with Cubone, or Q&Q. Simple enough, Trico's going to ask me a question, and I'll do my best to answer said question. That's right, and with that being said, Trico, what is today's question of the day? You see, now that's an easy question to answer. That would be Brian Thomas Jr. And it's quite obvious why. He is the most electrifying offensive weapon that the Jaguars currently have at their disposal, and he provides a great deep threat for Trevor Lawrence in this offense. Now, I mentioned it earlier, Trevor's got to hit those deep shots, especially when he has that clean pocket and the receivers are wide open. But you saw last year, the Jaguars struggled to take deep shots down the field. And now, with Brian Thomas Jr., it at least opens up the offense a little bit more to stretch the field down vertically with Brian Thomas Jr. and open things up for guys like Christian Kirk and, well, whenever we get Evan Ingram back to take advantage of the shots in the middle of the field. Ventrell did play really well last Sunday, but it's still a small sample size. We will get to see more of Ventrell Miller in the future, though, because unfortunately, Foye Oluokun is on injury reserve, so there's at least 3 more games that he's going to have to sit out for. So Ventrell should take full advantage of his opportunities at the starting linebacking position. But that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thank you for joining us on the Cubone Football Show, and we will see you all next time. You take care, folks.